we are going to see the various cells present in eye. Okay, so we have already seen half of the cells which are present in the eye. So now we have already seen that retina is present in the dorsal region of eye. No? So this retina has 3 layers of cells. Okay, from inside to outside. Okay, so it is like from inside of the eye to the outside, reaching outside of the eye. Okay, so ganglion cells, bipolar cells, photoreceptor cells. Okay, so first from the eye, if you see photoreceptor cells, and then bipolar, and then ganglion cells. Okay, so this photoreceptor cells is of 2 kinds, rods and cones. Okay, so rods help in the function of twilight or scotopic vision. Okay, so this rods is of derivative of vitamin A. Okay, it is also known as visual purple. Okay, so this protein is called rhodopsin protein. Okay, which helps in the vision, twilight or scotopic vision. Okay, so next one is cones. Okay, so these cones are daylight. They function as daylight or photopic vision. Okay, it is also known as color vision. Okay, so these cones have specific receptors to detect red, green and blue light. Okay, so if these 3 receptors are equally so when these 3 receptors are equally given a sensation or equally stimulated, white color light is generated. Okay. So this is about rods and cones. Okay, in photoreceptor cells. So it is present for first photoreceptor in the retina, first photoreceptor cells, and then bipolar, and then ganglion cells. Okay, so we have already seen that blind spot is a region in eye. You know, so that blind spot do not have any photoreceptor cells. Okay, and we have already seen that the fovea is also present above the blind spot. Yeah, so this fovea, it contains only cones, does not contain rods. Okay, so fovea contain only cones, and blind spot do not have any photoreceptor cells. Okay, so how the impulse is first transmitted from the eye to our nervous system? So first light is detected. Okay, it enters through the cornea and the pupil. Okay, and it is moderated by the lens. Okay, which is present in the eye. So and then the sensitive part of light is the light falls on retina. So this retina accepts all the it gets stimulated due to that light with these cells, photoreceptor cells, rods and cones. Okay, it moderates the it does not moderates, it just absorbs, okay, whatever we see. Okay, and then this photoreceptor cells, rods and cones, they transmit whatever the information they transmits the information to the bipolar cells. Okay, and the bipolar cells transmit it to ganglion cells. Okay, it is a stimulation. Okay, so bipolar cells transmit those stimulation to ganglion cells. So these ganglion cells separate from the bipolar cells and reach the nerves. Okay, so from the nerves the stimulation is passed through the brain. Okay, so this is what is the mechanism of vision. Okay, and so there is a region for vision in brain, which is visual cortex area of the brain. So there this stimulation reaches through the nerves. Okay, so this is the mechanism of vision. Okay, so next we will see about the ear. So now we are going to see about ear. Okay, so ear performs 2 functions. Okay, which is hearing and maintenance of body balance.
Body balance?
It balances our body. Balances our state, yes. Okay. So it consists of 3 regions: outer ear, middle ear and inner ear. Okay. The outer ear consists of pinna, the external pinna, and external auditory meatus. It is nothing but the canal which connects the outer pinna and the tympanic membrane. Okay. So this pinna collects vibration, okay, and transmit it to the external auditory meters or canal. So this leads inwards and reaches tympanic membrane. This tympanic membrane is also known as eardrum. Okay. So here many hairs and wax secreting glands in the skin are present in the skin of pinna and meatus, external auditory meatus. So these both have hairs and oil secreting glands, okay, wax secreting glands. So now the tympanic membrane, okay, where the canal reaches to the tympanic membrane. So this tympanic membrane is covered with skin outside and mucous membrane in the inside. Okay. So this is what is the outer ear. And middle ear, it consists of 3 ossicles which are connected like a chain. So malleus, incus and stapes. Okay, so these are the 3 ossicles. So these are all together connected. So the malleus is joined with tympanic membrane, and next to malleus comes incus, and next to incus stapes. So this stapes is connected with oval window of cochlea. So the next part is known as cochlea. Okay. So an eustachian tube, okay, it is a tube which connects the middle ear cavity with the pharynx. So it connects the middle ear to the pharynx. Okay. So this eustachian tube connects the middle ear with the pharynx. It helps in equalizing the pressures of either side of the eardrum. So it helps in it equalizes the pressure of both the sides. Okay, this eustachian tube. Okay. So next we will see about some more about middle ear. Okay. We are going to discuss about inner ear. So we have discussed about outer ear and middle ear. So now we are discussing about inner ear. So this inner ear, it is filled with it is a fluid filled inner ear. Okay, inner ear is full of fluid filled, which is known as labyrinth. Okay. So this labyrinth is of 2 kinds, bony labyrinth and membranous labyrinth. Okay. So bony labyrinth, the fluid filled inside bony labyrinth is known as perilymph. Okay. And inside bony labyrinth there is membranous labyrinth present inside the bony labyrinth. So that membranous labyrinth is filled with the fluid endolymph. So perilymph is for bony labyrinth, endolymph is for membranous labyrinth.
That membranous
labyrinth is present inside the bony labyrinth. Okay. So now the coiled portion of labyrinth is called cochlea. So this is the structure of cochlea. Okay, it is coiled. Okay. Here this is a cross section of cochlea. Okay. Here this cochlea has 3 regions: scala vestibuli, scala media and scala tympani. Okay. So this gap is known as scala vestibuli. Okay, this one is scala media, this one is scala tympani. Okay, so this is what is bony and this is membranous. Bony is filled with perilymph and this one is filled with endolymph. Are you clear with this diagram? Vestibuli, scala media and scala tympani. Okay, so this scala vestibuli ends at oval window. Okay, scala vestibuli, it ends at a structure. It ends at a structure called oval window.
Okay.
And scala tympani, okay, this scala tympani, it ends with a structure called a round window. Okay, scala vestibuli with oval window, scala tympani with round window. This is a cross section. Okay, it extends like this and it terminates with that oval window and round window. Okay. So now there are membranes between the scala vestibuli and scala media and scala tympani, right? So this membrane is known as Reissner's membrane. Okay, and this membrane is known as basilar membrane. Okay, and in scala media, which is the center, at the end it has organ of Corti. Okay, so that organ of Corti plays an important role in the sound transmission and signaling. Okay, so this organ of Corti has a number of cells, hair cells in them. Okay, and above the hair cells there is a membrane which is covering all the hair cells, which is known as tectorial membrane. Okay, are you clear with the structure? Yeah. So now the inner ear, other than cochlea and labyrinth, it also contains some vestibular apparatus, okay, above cochlea. It is present above cochlea. So this vestibular apparatus has 3 semicircular canals and otolith, okay. So these 3 semicircular canals are present in the right angles to each other, okay. And these canals are suspended in the perilymph.
Okay.
Perilymph of this labyrinth. This is generally fully suspended in fluid. Okay, perilymph fluid. Okay. So the base of the canals is swollen. The 3 canals are attached together, and the base of the 3 canals are swollen. That swollen part is known as ampulla. Okay. And the projecting ridge of ampulla is known as macula. Something, a ridge like small extension is projecting, it is known as macula. So the other structure which is connected with macula is known as crista. So crista and macula, they both balance the body, they maintain the balancing of body and posture.
Yeah, we saw in the first one. Okay.
That is usage and tube in the middle ear. This is in the inner ear. Crista and macula, balance of the body, it maintains the balancing of the body and posture. Okay. So this is the structure of inner ear. Okay, can I explain it again?
Yeah, we can.
So the fluid filled, it contains labyrinth, bony, membranous. Inside bony there is membranous. Fluid filled with bony, perilymph. Fluid filled with membranous is endolymph. Okay, so the coiled portion of labyrinth is known as cochlea.
Okay.
So this cochlea is divided into vestibuli, media and tympani. Scala vestibuli, scala media and scala tympani. Vestibuli, media, tympani. And it is divided into 2 membranes, resinous membrane, basilar membrane. Okay, and there is organ of Corti in the scala media. It consists of many hairs, and these hairs are covered by a membrane called the tectorial membrane. Okay, so this ends with the oval window, this ends with the round window, and the inner ear also contains vestibular apparatus above this cochlea, which contains 3 semicircular canals, okay, at right angles suspended in perilymph. So these have swollen base, which is known as ampulla, and projecting ridge, which is macula, and macula and crista, it maintains the balance of body and posture. Okay. So now we are going to see about mechanism of hearing. So how hearing is reached to our brain and it is signaled. We are going to see how the stimuli. Yeah. So here generally the pinna collects all the vibrations and it transmits it to the canal. Okay, transmits it to the meatus. Okay. So it reaches the tympanic membrane, which is known as eardrum. So that one again it transmits to the cochlea, and this hair cells which play a main role in that receiving that vibrations, and according to the vibrations they move and beat this tectorial membrane. Okay, so they move and beat this tectorial membrane. This is a rounded structure. Okay, we are seeing cross section of this one. So by the tectorial membrane, this signal is passed through a sensory neuron. Okay, and it reaches the central nervous system. Okay, or there is auditory cortex in our brain, so there it is reached. Okay, so this is about the mechanism and everything. So with this the chapter ends.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
If you like this video, share this video.
Please subscribe this video, and if you have any doubts, please leave them in the comment section.
Pritika Naniru signing off.